Rotaract Club of Noble Nexus as we embark on the day 3 of Beyond the Books Law Unlocked. This 3-day workshop was thoughtfully designed to transcend the boundaries of academic learning and provide you with unparalleled insights into the dynamic world of law. Today's session is centered around the core theme that is corporate world insights. We are truly privileged to have with us this evening Advocate C. Nanvi Gupta, whose expertise and accomplishments speak volumes. Ma'am is an advocate and a chartered accountant by profession, specializing in tax and company law matters. She has been practicing litigation at various tribunals, High Court, and even the Supreme Court of India, and is currently associated with a leading firm in North, that is Lex Commercy. Ma'am is a first attempt chartered accountant and has gained valuable experience in finance and assurance while working in one of the big four companies like Ernst and Young. During this time, she worked with numerous listed and various unlisted clients across the North India, including Max Specialty Films Limited, amongst others. An accomplished scholar, she has been awarded various scholarships by the then HRD ministry as well. Afterwards, she completed her LLB from Punjab University and ventured into the field of litigation, where she has continued to thrive and make significant contributions. Without further ado, let us commence this enlightening session. And I now invite our esteemed speaker, Advocate C. Nanvi Gupta ma'am, to take the virtual stage and share her invaluable knowledge with all of us.
Thank you, Twisha. Thank you for your kind words and good evening to everyone. I hope everybody is having a good evening today. It's so good to see so many students have joined. And first of all, Twisha, if you could just clear me a bit, are they all law students?
Ma'am, most of them are law students.
All
We,
right. All right.
yes, they are law students only.
All right, all right. So, welcome to the session. One request to all of you, I do not want to be the only speaker in the session. I want it to be an interactive one. So, I hope everybody is going to interact. मैं यहाँ पे कोई ज्ञान बांटने नहीं आई हूँ, मैं experience share करने आई हूँ. So, let us just hope that we talk to each other. Please put up your queries. Please put up all your questions. I will try to answer as many of them as it would be possible for me to do that. And um, uh, f- uh, the topic, okay, let us start with the topic today. The topic that is to be discussed today is the corporate world insights. Now, presuming that most of us are the law students here, I understand that today, these days, the students are majorly, they have two options whenever they are picking up a career, whenever they are planning a career, they have majorly two options. One is they want to go for the papers, appear for the judiciary, etc., or they want to go in for the corporates. The trend that we are seeing for the last almost 5 years is that students are getting attracted a lot towards the corporates. So let me first of all ask you, you are the people who are standing at the threshold of this challenging profession. So why are the students actually getting attracted towards corporate? What is that is basically fascinating you towards that particular sector? Any one of you who can volunteer to answer this, your thoughts. I'm not asking for what is happening around you, I'm asking for your thoughts. Any one of you. Suhana, Ishita, Aditya, Smriti, we have so many here. So, any one of you who would like to tell me, why, yeah, please, Tej Pratap, kindly.
First of all, a very good evening, ma'am. We are really
Good
pleased to have
evening,
you.
dear. Good evening.
Ma'am, I believe that the vision that is created is that in like government jobs and in the government sector, people
Hmm.
do not progress as fast compared to the hard work they put in. Whereas in the
Hmm.
corporate world, if there is a person who works hard, the
Hmm.
rewards and the benefits that they reap are equally high. So
All
like
right.
it is like perceived by many that corporate world, even perceived by me that corporate world kind of rewards merit and hard work.
Great. So basically, the basic intention behind this thought is that we want to be rewarded for what we know, and we want to have what we actually intend. The dreams that you have seen, the aspirations that you want that they should be achieved through your efforts. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All
Exactly.
right. So basically the rewards. So let me sum up. देखो बेटा, सबसे पहले क्या होता है, whenever you are talking about the corporates and you're talking about the government sector, let us compare these two things. The basic difference, the basic reason why people are shifting or drifting towards corporates, number one, the pay packages are very good. Let us be very honest, let us be very frank on this. The initial packages that you get when you enter corporate sectors, they are many a times better as compared to the government sector. In the long run, yes, you get better opportunities, you get a lot of people to talk to. A very important thing that you get in the corporate sector is the exposure not only which is related to your particular field. For example, what happens is that, supposedly, let us talk about different law firms which are there at the top, Khaitan and Company, Sarthak Law Company, and all these such like firms who are operating in Delhi, Kolkata, Hyderabad. They have different departments. Do you understand? They have different departments. They are not dealing in just one area of litigation. They are dealing in multiple areas like mergers and acquisitions. They might be dealing in corporate laws. They might be dealing in taxations. They deal in IPRs and everything. So you get an exposure of different areas. And in the government sector, generally you do not get such like exposures. If you are working in one thing, you keep on working in one thing only. गवर्नमेंट सेक्टर्स में, सॉरी, कॉर्पोरेट सेक्टर्स में आपको बहुत बार डिफरेंट तरीके का एक्सपोजर मिल जाता है. ये एक बहुत बड़ा बेनिफिट है गवर्नमेंट सेक्टर्स में, बेसिक कॉर्पोरेट सेक्टर्स में बेसिकली एंटर करने का. दिस इज समथिंग which will also add to your CVs. This is something which also adds to your careers and in the long run, basically. Another thing, one, we have talked about the pay packages, another is the exposure. Third, very important thing, this is what I have learned from my own experience, that is mentorship. Whenever you are entering into a field, whenever you are venturing into a new field, having a mentor is very important. When we talk about the corporates, there are seniors who have actually, gone vertically higher in that particular field through their skills, through their knowledge. उन्होंने उसी एरिया में डेवलप किया है, उसी एरिया में वो लोग ऊपर गए हैं. And from their experiences, you can get very good insights as to how you should level up your career. That is very important. So if you are planning that you have to go to a corporate sector and not the government sector or not the judiciary side, this is a very big reason why people join the corporate sectors. You get seniors, you get good seniors who can actually give you good guidance. But then, yes, that reliability has to be earned, that confidence of the senior has to be earned. That all depends upon you. All right. Another thing, you learn flexibility. Corporate sector is something that will help you develop a lot of flexibility. Anybody who is fascinated towards traveling, anybody who is fascinated towards working in different kind of projects in different locations, like for example, when I was working for my company, we used to travel a lot, we used to go for different kind of projects. जो प्रोजेक्ट हमने पहले किया है उससे अलग प्रोजेक्ट्स हमें हमेशा मिलते थे. तो ये कुछ चीजें होती है जो हमें हमेशा कॉर्पोरेट्स की तरफ अट्रैक्ट करती है. कोई और चीज जो आप मुझसे शेयर करना चाहोगे, जो आपको ऐसा लगता है कि आपको कोई और चीज कॉर्पोरेट्स में जाने के लिए इंस्पायर करती हो? आस्था, प्रशा, अंशिका. ऑल राइट, ऑल राइट. सो ये कुछ चीजें होती हैं जो जिसकी वजह से बेसिकली हमारे को कॉर्पोरेट्स की तरफ अट्रैक्शन, आजकल के बच्चों को, स्पेशली द स्टूडेंट्स हु आर फ्रॉम द NLUs, they are getting attracted towards the corporates. Now, a very important thing, आपको कॉर्पोरेट्स में एंटर करने के लिए, when we talk about the corporate world, entering a corporate world is a big nut to crack. It is a difficult nut to crack. The interviews are very, sometimes, lot of interviews happen. There are long rounds that happen, and then there are group discussions that generally take place. Have you attended any sessions, or have you has any one of you appeared for any interview before, any panel? Any experiences to share? Come on, guys, you can please contribute. Zaid, Aniket, I think most of us are students here. So not many of you must have appeared for the interviews. See, I would like to share my experiences vis-a-vis the interviews are concerned. There happen a lot many rounds. Many of them they start with the group discussions. This is something which is very important. Group discussion is the first elimination scenario. It is the first elimination step that happens. Any topic will be given to you and you guys have to speak on that. So what happens is that the students are centered, or they are made to sit around a particular table and they have to talk on a particular topic. अब यहाँ पे जब आपके साथ ये सारी चीज होगी ना बेटा, तो प्लीज एक चीज ध्यान में रखना, दिस इज द गोल्डन रूल ऑफ द ग्रुप डिस्कशन. Whosoever starts wins 50% of the battle. Whosoever starts is going to win 50% of the battle, irrespective of the fact whether you have understood the topic or not, whether you know much about the topic or not. For example, I give you any topic. Say आजकल राज्यसभा में water bill is pending. Supposedly you guys do not have any knowledge about that, about the provisions which are being proposed, or at what stage the the proposal is pending. Supposedly you have no knowledge, but if you start with the discussion that why water bill is important, you can have very general points also. Show the confidence of starting the discussion. That is always the first thing to happen. And believe me, I have seen people who have started the conversation in the GDs, they have come to the next rounds. They have definitely come to the next rounds. ऑल राइट. अनदर थिंग, जब आप लोग इंटरव्यूज के लिए जाते हैं, जब आपने कॉर्पोरेट्स में एंटर करना है एंड यू वांट टू अपीयर फॉर द इंटरव्यूज, ये चीजें सबको पता होती हैं कि हमने कॉन्फिडेंटली जाना है, हमने अच्छे से अटायर आपका प्रोफेशनल होना चाहिए, इट शुड बी क्लीन, इट शुड बी प्रोफेशनल. बट वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट इज दैट यू शुड नेवर बी फेक. You should never ever be fake. Do not try to bluff the interview panel. Never try to bluff the interview panel. I would just try to share a very small experience of mine. I had appeared for an interview before one of the very top technology related company. It was actually the ITC, I think, at that time. And I was sitting in front of the interview panel. There were three people. One person bald, absolutely bald. He must be around 50, and I was not even 25 at that time. And he was constantly gazing at me when my interview was going on. I was being technically checked on my skills. That was a technical round, and he was constantly gazing at me. Now what do they try to gauge in such situations? You get petrified, you get terrified, when somebody is constantly looking at you and you do not understand that why is he looking at me, not asking me any questions, but he is continuously looking at me. So in such situations, they are just trying to judge what is going to disturb you, what is going to petrify you, what is going to disturb you. Maintain your confidence, girls and guys. Okay, maintain your confidence. That is very important when we talk about the interviews. Extremely important. Do not lose the clarity of your thoughts. Do not lose the clarity of your the articulation of your answers, the articulation of your thoughts. It should be such that it gives a message that you are going to be an asset to the organization. That is important. So you have to give the message that I am going to contribute to the organization. All right, so such things are very important. आपको इंटरव्यूज में मान लो you have done well and you have entered the corporate world. This is now, अब बहुत important चीजें होती है corporates में जाके, which is I think the main thing that we have to discuss here, that what are the problems that generally happen, what are the major problems that generally anybody who's working in a corporate faces whenever they enter the corporate world. बाहर से बहुत अच्छा लगता है बेटा, बाहर से बहुत अच्छा लगता है कि हम एक बहुत बड़े, imagine a 5-star kind of an office with all the facilities, everything is there, there are very good lights there, very good infrastructure, very good technologically, it is very good. So आपको computers भी अच्छे मिल रहे हैं, everything is there. Yes, Prasha Bhatia, please.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Good evening. Yeah.
Ma'am, we often find that the corporate sector
chooses to employ the NLU graduates more than they prefer other state university graduates, such as from Punjab University. So, what in that case should we do that makes us stand out from the rest of the
Hmm.
crowd?
All right. Please, and you are correct. You are correct. This happens in law field also, and it happens in CA field as well. I am a chartered accountant. I know even in our field, the students or the CAs who have cracked it in the first attempt, or those who are the rank holders, they are always given preference. But if you are not from an NLU, first of all, understand why NLU people are getting an edge. When you see in a CV, whenever a CV comes to us also, ना हम जब CV में देखते हैं कि NLU लिखा है, there are certain qualities of a student we presume that they are there. What are those qualities? Intelligence, yes. It is the person is brainy. Another thing, that there is a commitment. Somebody who has cracked an exam, a CLAT, etc., and he has got into a good college. Persistence है बंदे में. तीन चार क्वालिटीज बेटा आपके माइंड में आ जाती हैं. अगर आप इंटरव्यू में ये शो कर दो कि आपके अंदर भी ये क्वालिटीज हैं, why will you not be taken? Your CV has to be good enough to get you the first screening interview. Are you getting it? Was that Prasha, right? Who had asked this question?
Yes, ma'am, Prasha.
Prasha. So Prasha, are you getting it? आपका जो CV होता है ना, वो सिर्फ स्क्रीनिंग के वक्त आपके काम आता है. So जिसके CV में NLU लिखा है, वो सिर्फ वहां पर काम आ रहा है. उसके बाद जब आपका इंटरव्यू होता है, इट इज ऑल इन योर हैंड्स. प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड दैट यू हैव टू डिमॉन्स्ट्रेट सर्टेन क्वालिटीज विच आर प्रिज्यूम्ड टू बी देयर इन अ स्टूडेंट हु इज पास्ड आउट फ्रॉम एन NLU.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, but we often see that even in the very initial stage of CV selection,
Correct.
they reject the other universities.
Correct. This will happen. I am not going to give you any false,
Yes, ma'am.
things that, but this does happen. But in long run, say 3 years, 5 years down the line, these things get washed away. Take it from me. This is a practical experience. These things do get washed away. आपका रैंक या आपका कॉलेज आपको सिर्फ फर्स्ट पैकेज लेने में हेल्प करेगा.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you understanding? And do you agree with me on this?
Yes,
आपका
ma'am.
रैंक सीए में जो भी है, या किसी भी चीज में आपका यूनिवर्सिटी में कोई रैंक है, या आपका कॉलेज बहुत ज्यादा अच्छा है, वो आपको सिर्फ फर्स्ट पैकेज लेने में हेल्प करेगा. उसके बाद 3 years 5 years डाउन द लाइन, एवरीबडी earns on the basis of their capabilities. Please
Yes,
do
ma'am.
remember this thing. Another thing I would like to add here, very good question you have asked basically. जब आपको फर्स्ट जॉब मिल जाए ना, इवन इफ अगर आपको लगता है कि मैं एनएलयू से ज्यादा कुछ डिजर्व करती थी, जो एनएलयू के स्टूडेंट को मिला मैं उससे ज्यादा डिजर्व करती थी, मुझे नहीं मिला. लेट अस टेक दिस सिनेरियो. ठीक है, आपको जब फर्स्ट जॉब मिले या सेकंड जॉब मिले, गिव योर बेस्ट इन दैट. Learn for yourself. Do not just contribute to the organization. Learn for yourself. Keep your vision open as to what are the employers outside this company also seeking where you are employed. उसके बाहर भी अपना दिमाग चलाओ कि बाहर के employers को क्या चाहिए, क्या चल रहा है मार्केट में. अपने वो skills develop करो. आपको क्या लगता है, क्या सिर्फ एक डिग्री के बेस पे नौकरी की जाती है? कभी भी नहीं होता ऐसा. ऐसा कभी भी नहीं होता. देयर आर एन नंबर ऑफ factors which contribute to the success of a person. I will come to those factors also. तो अगर आपने उन फैक्टर्स पे काम कर लिया, तो आपका पहला पैकेज चाहे कम हो, 5 साल बाद आप वही कमा रहे होंगे जो एनएलयू वाला कमा रहा है, प्रोवाइडेड आपके बाकी फैक्टर्स उससे ज्यादा बेटर है. ऑल राइट, does that answer your query,
Yes,
Prasha?
ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay. So from here, let us come to certain, these things only, that once you have entered a corporate world, once you have entered a company, अब पता है इमेजिन करके देखो, बहुत अच्छी कंपनी में हो. I was on that visually imagination only, visual thing that I was trying to give you guys, कि बहुत अच्छी कंपनी है, you have very good group of people around you, you know, 10-12 lawyers around you who are of your age, have studied from good organizations. You can talk to them on technical things, you can learn from them. Now you are a part of a corporate, you have already entered a corporate. Now in such a situation, now when you start working, what are the different kind of problems that you anticipate that you can face? कुछ सोच के देखो कि आप क्या problems face कर सकते हो. Anyone who can give me just couple of them? Anyone, please. Jasmine, Shivani, anyone? All right.
Ma'am, first of all, yeah, Tusha only wrote it down. I was about to say the long working hours that we hear कि रात को 8-9 बजे तक man has to stay.
बेटा बहुत कम बोल रहे हो.
Okay.
रियलिटी बता रही हूँ. रियलिटी बता रही हूँ. और एंड प्लीज टेक इट फ्रॉम मी, राइट इट डाउन इन ऑन अ पेपर एंड अ पेन एंड पुट इट इन योर पॉकेट, फ्रीज इट समवेयर. इफ यू गेट अ जॉब वेयर यू आर गेटिंग फ्री एट 8 p.m. 9 p.m., take it. It's a comfortable job. Over workload. Why don't you guys speak? Yeah, why are you just writing? I'm happy people are contributing, but speak up. Have that confidence. This is what I just said.
I think Faguni was speaking. She was
बोलो
saying.
बोलो बोलो.
I was just saying that there's no work-life balance, because of the long working hours and then working on weekends as well.
She knows a little bit about corporate sector.
My sister is actually an HR manager in PNG, so
Good.
first-hand experience.
First hand experience. I can sense that. Good. All right. So बच्चा देखो, अभी आप सब ने एक चीज बोली, मैं उसको 10 पॉइंट्स में बोल दूंगी अगर कोई थेरेटिकल बोलना है. प्रैक्टिकल बात यही है, वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस की. बैलेंस वर्क लाइफ, उसको बैलेंस करना बहुत डिफिकल्ट हो जाती है. बैंड बज जाती है, अच्छे वाली बैंड बज जाती है. आप लोगों ने ना, देयर वाज अ वेरी अनफॉर्चुनेट इवेंट दैट हैपेंड इन सितंबर, आई थिंक सितंबर अक्टूबर 2024, 5-6 months back. You must have read in the newspapers, there was so much of hue and cry even on the social media platforms. There was a girl from one of the big fours. She committed suicide because she was overworked. 26-year-old girl, she committed a suicide because she was working in a corporate. I'm not going to name the company, and that was a very unfortunate event. And you know what, कुछ दिन उसके ऊपर न्यूज़पेपर्स में आर्टिकल्स आए, कुछ दिन हमारे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, हमारे इंस्टीट्यूट के प्रेसिडेंट ने कुछ आर्टिकल्स लिखे ऑन द फेसबुक, इंस्टाग्राम एंड इवन ऑन लिंक्डइन एंड एवरीथिंग. उसके बाद कुछ नहीं हुआ. एवरीथिंग इज गोइंग दैट वेज ओनली. सो कोई भी इंसिडेंट हो जाए, हमें आज के दिन में ये पता है कि वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस ठीक नहीं होने वाला. ठीक है. अब इस चीज को केटर करने के लिए एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्टर मैं बोलने जा रही हूँ, प्लीज ध्यान में रखना. हमने सेशन के शुरू में एक चीज बोली थी, हम कॉर्पोरेट्स की तरफ क्यों अट्रैक्ट हो रहे हैं बेटा. बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज होती है व्हेन यू आर एट दिस एज ना, 24, 25, 22 से लेके 25, एवरीबॉडी इज लाइक कि अब बच्चे कमाएंगे. घर पे सबको होता है और बच्चों को खुद को भी होता है, मुझे भी था. हमें अर्न करना है. सो द पे पैकेजेस दे अट्रैक्ट अस. बट ये पे पैकेजेस ही रीजन है क्यों हमारी वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस की बैंड बच जाती है. इट ऑल गोज हेवायर बिकॉज ऑफ दिस रीजन. एक बात बेटा गांठ बांध लेना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. इफ एट ऑल दिस इज नॉट द सोल motivating factor for you, that money, the packages that you are getting should not be the driving factor which decide that what decision you are going to take in life, especially with regard to the corporate sector. I would just elaborate it a bit. Supposedly, if you get a package of 30 lakhs in a particular company, wherein you will be doing a job which you do not enjoy doing, and your personal life will be screwed. Please do not accept it. Vis-a-vis, supposedly you get another package wherein you are getting 20 lakhs, but your personal life will be better. I think that is going to be a better choice in long run. Everything is a personal choice. I'm not imposing my decision or my my thought process on anyone. This is just a recommendation. This is what I have seen during my experience while working at the various companies, that if your personal life is not okay, you end up being unsuccessful or lesser successful even in your professional life, because ultimately you are the same person. To what extent you will segregate your professional and personal life? We generally say personal life और professional life को अलग रखो, वो एक limit तक ही होता है. Let us be very practical. So always decide what is more important. For some, at some point of time, yes, packages might get very important deciding factors. But if that is not the only deciding factor, then please do take care of your work-life balance as well. इसमें एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज आती है. मैं दो ही बातें बोलूंगी कि ऐसा नहीं है कि पैकेजेस छोड़ना ही सोल्यूशन है. नो, हमेशा वो डिसीजन भी नहीं लिया जा सकता. इन द प्रैक्टिकल सिनेरियो एवरीबॉडी नीड्स मनी, ऑलराइट, बट इसका तरीका क्या होता है? अब मेरी बात ना, प्लीज listen to this very carefully. These are the most practical tips I can give you. Number one, please develop your skill set. अगर मेरे पास 8 घंटे हैं, मैं 8 घंटे में काम खत्म कर लूं, उसके लिए मुझे स्किल सेट चाहिए. डज एवरीबडी अग्री विद मी? हेलो शिवानी, अनिकेत, जैस्मिन, पलक. गुड गुड, ओके. सो स्किल सेट होना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. एक छोटा सा एग्जांपल लेते हैं. अगर आपको किसी ने बोला कॉन्डोनेशन ऑफ डीले की एप्लीकेशन बना दो, अगर आपको यही नहीं पता किस सेक्शन में बनेगी या मैं क्या ग्राउंड्स ले सकती हूँ वो कॉन्डोनेशन ऑफ डीले की एप्लीकेशन बनाते हुए, तो आप उसको बनाने में ज्यादा टाइम लगाओगे. लेकिन अगर आपने पहले कोई स्किल डेवलप किया हुआ है कि आपको पहले ही पता है कि मुझे ये कैसे करना है, आपका टाइम कम लगेगा. ठीक है? ये चीज या तो एक्सपीरियंस से डेवलप होती है, या फिर ये एक्सपीरियंस वाला टाइम बचाने के लिए भी एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज होती है, एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट एक्टिविटी होती है, दैट इज रीडिंग. इट इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एक्टिविटी. वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस को ठीक करने के लिए अपना टाइम बचाना है, कम से कम टाइम में ज्यादा से ज्यादा प्रोडक्टिविटी देनी है. उसके लिए अपना स्किल सेट डेवलप करो. यू नो, स्किल सेट को डेवलप करने के लिए सबसे अच्छी चीज है रीडिंग. एंड आई विल जस्ट शेयर वन ऑफ द एक्सपीरियंसेस. वी हैड अ वेरी सीनियर पार्टनर at Ernst and Young. I worked with Ernst and Young for good 3-4 years. We had a very senior partner, and he had a very consistent habit of coming to office at 8 a.m. हम लोग नहीं आते थे. हमें नॉलेज नहीं थी उस वक्त कि इस हैबिट का कितना इंपॉर्टेंस है. अभी जो मैं हैबिट आपको बताने जा रही हूँ, ध्यान से सुनना. That person used to come at 8 a.m. in the morning consistently, a very senior partner. 8 to 9 a.m. Even after 25 years of experience in that particular field, he used to read every day for 1 hour in the morning in the office. He used to come in the office, read for 1 hour every day from 8 to 9. This is what we heard after working with him. And he was so technically sound, he was so technically well equipped, and उनका टाइम ऑटोमेटिकली कम लगता था, क्योंकि उनका ज्ञान तो ऑटोमेटिक पहले ही दिमाग में बैठा हुआ है ना. वो कर करके नहीं सीख रहे हैं, सब कुछ कर करके, गलती कर करके नहीं सीख रहे हैं. वो किताबों से भी सीख रहे हैं, वो चीजें पढ़ पढ़ के सीख रहे हैं. आप लोग उस फेज में हो अपने करियर के जब आप बहुत अच्छा स्किल सेट डेवलप कर सकते हो, अपना टाइम बाद में बचा सकते हो. किसी ने मुझसे अभी पूछा था, वन ऑफ द स्टूडेंट्स, आई थिंक आई एम फॉरगेटिंग द नेम, आई थिंक प्राशा, शी हैड आस्क्ड मी कि दैट what was the question, that why the NLU students are given the leverage? वहां पे मैंने आपको ये बोला था, अगर इंटरव्यू में अच्छा परफॉर्म करोगे तो आपको एट पार मान लिया जाएगा. अगर अब इन दो चीजों को रिलेट करने की कोशिश करो. अगर आप स्किल से डेवलप करते हो, अगर आप अपना 1 घंटा अभी से देते हो रीडिंग के लिए, रीडिंग योर सब्जेक्ट्स एंड योर जजमेंट्स, और रीडिंग सम गुड पिटिशंस और समथिंग, won't you develop some good skills regarding drafting, or learn some good sections, some provisions, the application of the mind in law? तो क्या आप ऑटोमेटिकली बाकियों से अलग नहीं हो, बेटर नहीं हो फ्रॉम द डे वन व्हेन यू अपीयर फॉर द इंटरव्यू? And if you're better, aren't you going to give a better productivity? Do you agree? Do you guys agree? तो हमारे को, हमने पहले जो प्रॉब्लम डिस्कस की, या हम अभी एक बहुत बड़ी प्रॉब्लम वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस की डिस्कस कर रहे हैं, तो क्या हमारे पास एक सिंपल सा सोल्यूशन नहीं है उसका, कि स्किल सेट डेवलप कर लो, स्किल्स पहले आइडेंटिफाई कर लो, ड्राफ्टिंग सीखनी है, रीड आपको सेक्शंस पता होने चाहिए, टेक्निकली लॉ आपको थोड़ा थोड़ा पता होना चाहिए कि कहाँ पर क्या चीज होती है, मोटा मोटा आपको चीजें पता होनी चाहिए. उसके लिए अगर आप अभी से सिर्फ 45 मिनट्स भी दे दोगे ना कंसिस्टेंटली, 5 days अ वीक भी दे दोगे, कि 45 मिनट्स मैंने पढ़ना है, मैंने जजमेंट कोई नई निकाल के पढ़नी है, उसमें जितने सेक्शंस लिखे हैं मैंने वापस बेयर एक्ट में जाके पढ़ना है, उसको उसको समझना है, तो आपका बहुत टाइम आगे जाके बच जाएगा. You will be better than the NLU students. You will be better than any experienced people जो जिनको शुरू के 2-3 साल का एक्सपीरियंस होगा, उनसे भी बेटर हो जाओगे. और वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस भी बेटर होगा, बिकॉज आपको पहले बहुत सारी चीजें आती होंगी जिससे आपको स्ट्रेस नहीं होगा. स्ट्रेस नहीं होगा और आप अपना काम जल्दी खत्म कर पाओगे. समझ आया? Does it answer your query to some extent? All right. And please, despite this, be very clear that if you are going to enter the corporate sectors, there will be chances you will be traveling a lot. You will be, meeting new people. So your timings and your time that is being put into the working hours that you're putting in, that will be disturbed. So be mentally prepared for that if you're entering the corporates. Many a times you can control, many a times it goes uncontrollable. The things are out of your hands. So you have to just adjust with the situation. All right. Okay. Yeah. Another thing, very important, politics. How many of you heard about the work politics? Politics at the workplace? नहीं पता? हाँ जी. Prasha, Tej Pratap. पहले Prasha, फिर Tej Pratap, please. Zaid Ali. Okay. Let's start with Prasha.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, we often find a lot of favorism in the offices, and then one of the drawbacks that I feel corporate world has is that the employees would not be able to, judge themselves, be able to tell their boss that this case we're going to lose this case, and there's not good merits. We'll just have to fight the case just because the company has undertaken it. So that is there.
Correct, Prasha. Prasha, but in such a scenario, I would suggest, why do you want to tell your boss that we are not going to get it? Until and unless you are in some informal conversation with your boss. Are you
Right.
getting it?
Yes,
On
ma'am.
a formal table, when you are discussing that how a case should be drafted, या इसमें हम कौन सा judgment डालें कि हम जीत जाएं, very important. Now, please understand, this is okay. Prasha, I'll come to this. Let me just hear to Zaid also. There was some student with the name Zaid, if I am correct. He wanted
Yes,
to
ma'am.
contribute. हाँ जी बेटा बोलो.
Ma'am, I would second what Prasha has said, that
Hmm.
these offices are rife with much favoritism
Hmm.
and there's a clash of egos. you go to a person, you give them a certain suggestion, but since you are a junior to them or a peer, they wouldn't necessarily pay much heed to your suggestion.
Correct. This happens. This happens. Okay, we will answer this. Another, there was one more student. Jashan, one more student had raised the hand. All right, no problem. Favoritism and ego. ठीक है. अच्छा प्रशा, सबसे पहले ना आपके क्वेश्चन को मैं दो पार्ट्स में डिवाइड करूंगी. वन इज द फेवरेटिज्म, अनदर इज द सिनेरियो दैट यू हैड गिवन, दैट इफ वी गो एंड टॉक टू अ सीनियर एंड टेल हिम ऑन हिज फेस कि आपका केस अच्छा नहीं बनता, तो वो नाराज हो जाएगा. यही थी ना बात?
Yes, ma'am, in a straightforward way.
हाँ, यही थी बात. बेटा प्रैक्टिकली यही बात थी. अच्छा मुझे एक बात बताओ, जिसको फीस मिल रही है उसको आप ये बोलो कि आप केस हारने वाले हो, तो उसको अच्छा लगेगा?
No, ma'am.
बस. वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू बी डिप्लोमेटिक. ये मैंने आपको बात समझाने के लिए साफ साफ बोली है. आप कभी किसी के सामने ऐसे नहीं बोलेंगे. इट इज एक्सट्रीमली इंपॉर्टेंट टू बी डिप्लोमेटिक. जब भी आप अपने सीनियर से बात कर रहे हो ना, प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड हिज माइंडसेट. देयर आर सर्टेन सीनियर और मैक्सिमम सीनियर्स, वही जूनियर पसंद आता है जो उनको उनकी प्रॉब्लम से थोड़ा बाहर निकाले, या एटलीस्ट ये दिखाए कि मैं आपको बाहर निकालने की कोशिश कर रहा हूं. समझ रहे हो? आप अपने आप के ऊपर ये सिचुएशन लेके देखो. आपने यू हैव हायर्ड 3-4 पीपल टू हेल्प यू इन योर टास्क. दे आर नॉट कमिंग विद सॉल्यूशंस टू यू, they are just showing you the problems. Would you be happy with that person? You would never be. This is a human nature. So demonstrate always when you have entered the corporate world, sitting on a meeting table, always demonstrate such, like, you know, gun. I'm not getting the word, which shows that you are optimistic and you are solution oriented. And even if you have to talk about the negative things, somehow, if you have recognized that, okay, this is not something which is going to go in our favor, sir, let us please know how we should be handling this. That is a better way of taking or talking about it. Got it? So be very, very diplomatic. Favoritism, ego, इन दोनों चीजों के लिए ना एक ही सोल्यूशन होता है, योर एटीट्यूड. जब जूनियर हो तो एक्सेप्ट करो कि जूनियर हो, लेकिन एक जूनियर से एक्सपेक्टेशन क्या होती है कि आप सीखने की कोशिश कर रहे हो, आप डिलीवर करने की कोशिश कर रहे हो. वो पहले 6 महीने में, 7 महीने में, 10 महीने में रिजल्ट्स नहीं दिखेंगे. बिल्कुल प्रैक्टिकल बात कह रही हूं. आप एफर्ट्स डालते जाओगे, आपको लगेगा मैं इतना काम कर रहा हूं, ये फिर भी दूसरा बंदा इसका फेवरेट है. बट 6 मंथ्स कंसिस्टेंटली जब आप अपने स्किल्स डेवलप करते जाओगे, रीडिंग करते जाओगे, एक ऑप्टिमिस्टिक बिहेवियर दिखाते जाओगे, काम करने का इनिशिएटिव लेते जाओगे, अल्टीमेटली थिंग्स विल स्टार्ट गिविंग रिजल्ट and you will have a good place in their books also. Do not envy somebody's favoritism. Favorites change over the period of time. Favorite कौन है बेटा? सिर्फ वो जो उनको उनके काम में मदद कर रहा है, और कोई फेवरेट नहीं होता. कॉर्पोरेट्स में कोई फ्रेंड्स नहीं होते, कॉर्पोरेट्स में कोई फेवरेट्स नहीं होते. कंसिस्टेंटली एक ही फेवरेट ओवर द पीरियड ऑफ, नो, इट डजंट हैपन. इट जस्ट डजंट हैपन. But you have to have that skill set. This is important. All right. So politics, when we talk about the politics at the workplace, at the corporates, this is a very difficult situation. It happens that कोई आपका काम है, क्रेडिट किसी और ने ले लिया. इसका सोल्यूशन सिर्फ ये है कि अपना एटीट्यूड ठीक रखो, टीम प्लेयर बनो. बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है खुश रहो वहां पर. अपने आप को खुश रखो. Do not show you are angry. Do not show that you are, not liking somebody, or something like that. No, you have to be diplomatic. You have to show that, okay, in your mind, just believe that you are going to fight the situation, but you don't have to fight with somebody for that. Be aware as to whom you can trust and to what extent you can trust. जब तक आपको आपका काम नहीं आता होगा, आप दूसरों के ऊपर डिपेंडेंट रहोगे और वहीं पे मार खाओगे. अपने काम को ठीक से सीखो, अपने स्किल सेट को डेवलप करो. ना आपको पॉलिटिक्स इम्पैक्ट कर पाएगी, ना ही किसी की फेवरेटिज्म इम्पैक्ट कर पाएगी, ना किसी की ईगो. ये सारी चीजें तब आती हैं जब आप वो नहीं दे रहे हो उनको जो उनको आपसे चाहिए. गॉट इट? डज दैट हेल्प यू? चलें आगे. All right. Any questions specific? Somebody had posted a question here. Uh, just a second. Okay, so somebody was asking, this is Sharandeep Kaur. Can we do study of CA together with a law study? Can you just switch on your mic, please, Sharan? Okay. Is she here? All right. I think with law, I am not sure whether you are allowed to take up any other course or something, because that attendance issue is there, right? But in CA, yes, there is a problem that when you are doing your CA, you have to attend offices as, internship. It is a good 2.5, 3 years regular internship. It's not like law. In law, we have lesser the internship spread over lesser number of days, but in CA we have long internships, like 2.5, 3 years, and you have to go to college, sorry, to the office, and generally the office timings are 10 to 5. So it is mandatory between 10 to 5 you cannot go anywhere. You cannot कागजों में आप नहीं दिखा सकते कि आप कुछ और अटेंड कर रहे हो. तो अगर आप लॉ का कॉलेज अटेंड कर रहे हो 10 से 5 के बीच में, you will not be allowed to do CA. You will not be allowed to appear for the papers. So this is important. So you won't be able to pull it off together. You have to do it separately, or you have to manage somehow to make sure that nowhere in your papers it shows that during 10 to 5 you were occupied somewhere else. All right. So this is what it is. Anything, any particular thing you guys want me to talk about? Hanji, Faguni, if I'm.
Faguni, yes, ma'am.
हाँ बेटा, हाँ जी बोलो बच्चे.
Ma'am, I wanted to ask you that is MBA a good option after completing a 5-year law degree?
MBA, yes. MBA, I believe, this is my personal opinion, MBA gives you an edge, especially in corporates. People after CEO also do MBA. Combination LLB and MBA as a combination to enhance your career, I do not think it's a very great combination. But when you go to corporates and you have done MBA, there are certain qualities you develop. Like, आपको presentations करनी आ जाती हैं, आपको बोलना आ जाता है, because MBA का process इन चीजों में बहुत rigorous होता है. तो अगर वो चीजें डेवलप करनी है तो आप कर सकते हो. Otherwise, I have not seen a lot of JDs, the job descriptions asking for people who have done LLB and MBA. अगर आप career point of view से कर रहे हो, I do not think it is a very good option. Until unless it's being asked by company specifically, I've not seen many. But हाँ, अगर आप अपने आप को enhance करने के लिए, अपनी enrichment के लिए कर रहे हो, then yes, it is a good option. हाँ जी, somebody else has also raised hand.
Oh, good evening, ma'am.
हाँ जी बच्चे.
Ma'am, I had a doubt. Like, for example, like CS is very similar to CA. Like, not similar, but it's kind of a simpler version which we have usually heard. So, is that a good option to pursue CA while we are in our third year, and then follow it up with the MBA later on. Is that a good option?
CA while you're doing LLB?
CS.
CS. CS and LLB is a very good combination.
Because
CS.
ma'am, in our third year, like right now in our field of education, we don't get much internships, paid internships specifically, because what I think what the HR or the company expects from us is that we had to have experience of projects, like we
Hmm.
had need to have experience of hands-on project,
Hmm.
which we usually don't get. We have
Hmm.
all the bookish knowledge, we have the moot courts, we have the resource papers, but
Hmm.
what they expect from us is that we can actually draft something which is value for them.
Hmm.
So, do you think like pursuing CS would actually, by the end of our degree, land us an actual job with a decent salary?
Again, the same thing. If you have an added degree, that is going to just help you to get a first good package.
Right now.
That's it. Coming again to the same thing, I've already answered this question. Please understand, if you develop, if somebody is asking you कि आप उनके लिए ड्राफ्टिंग कर सको, तो अगर आपको ड्राफ्टिंग नहीं आती और सीएस की डिग्री है तो क्या करोगे?
Right, ma'am. But with the basic BCom, like I am currently pursuing BCom LLB. With the
Hmm.
basic BCom LLB degree, even if I know drafting, I would get a very minimal package, and I think it is the new normal in our industry right now.
Okay.
And with CS, I was just wondering that would it, you know, cause a
It does
huge
add. It
difference?
does add. CS and LLB,
Yeah.
yes, they are very good combination, and it does add.
Because
But
the usually the opening package is like 10 to 15,000 for a
correct.
fresher in a good firm or a good office, advocate office. So with CS, I think it would does it make a huge impact on the opening salary?
Yes, it does.
Right.
It does.
Thank you
I
so
think
much.
CS and LLB is going to be a very good option. Starting would be very good, but yes, it is not a substitute to your skill set.
Right, ma'am. Thank you.
Correct? All right, all right. Anybody else who would want to have anything else?
Ma'am, is LLM a requirement for landing a job in the corporate world for law
I don't think
students?
so. No, no, I don't think so. सी कई बार क्या होता है कि कुछ कंपनी स्पेसिफाई कर देती हैं कि हमें ये वो क्वालिफिकेशन चाहिए, बट आई हैव नेवर सीन एलएलएम बीइंग द टॉप मोस्ट थिंग कि एलएलएम हमें चाहिए ही चाहिए. एलएलएम, यस, इट्स वेरी समटाइम्स व्हेन यू गो फॉर पीएचडीज एंड एवरीथिंग, वहां पे आपको बहुत हेल्प करता है, बट व्हेन इट कम्स टू कॉर्पोरेट्स, इट कैन गिव यू एन एज, बट नॉट इन लॉन्ग रन, नॉट इन लॉन्ग रन.
So, ma'am, what according to you should be a good additional degree, after completing this 5 year law?
See, if you are after LLB, LLM is a very good option. अगर आपको डिग्री ऐड करनी है, क्योंकि आपके और बहुत एवेन्यूज खुल जाते हैं, बीट इवन द गवर्नमेंट सेक्टर, और यू गो फॉर PhDs, or you go for these UGCs and everything. Many students, they do prefer these things also. So a post grad degree is always an added benefit. CS, yes, it is a very good option. CA is also a very good option with LLB. Taxation में अगर if somebody is interested in going into mergers and acquisitions, taxation and everything, this is a very good option. So these are good options you can have. BCom is no more much valuable these days. MCom, no, not of much value. LLB and LLM, I think it is, many students do it, and this is a kind of an obvious option and a good option.
Okay, ma'am, thank you.
All right. Anything else you feel that I can help you guys in something? Okay. One thing I would want to share, Twisha, if you could just share on the screen the page for the Indian Women in Commercial Dispute Resolution. Yeah, Prableen?
Yes, ma'am. I have a question that in our college there is not a active CDC working. Companies don't come for place to give us placements, and so how should we grab an opportunity? कि हमें मतलब हमें लिंक्डइन पे सीवीज भेजते रहे या फिर अप्लाई कैसे करना चाहिए?
LinkedIn these days is a very good option. LinkedIn these days, yes, it is a very good option. इसके अलावा ना एक बहुत अच्छी चीज होती है references. If you have friends who are working in various other corporates, you can try through them. Otherwise, good platforms. The first job that I got for myself was through a good platform. उस टाइम पे मॉन्स्टर चलता होता था, monster.com. I don't know whether you people have heard about it or not. You can upload your CVs even over there. LinkedIn is helping people hire a lot. Put up your articles, put up your you read something, write a gist of that over there. The recruiters, they search for people in LinkedIn these days. And otherwise there are the other platforms also. Like there are, Monster, there is Indeed. I think there's so many other platforms that can help you search jobs. There is no centralized thing we have, but these are the various platforms that you can use. Or kuch?
Yes, thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Another thing I would want to share is that uh, I have seen a lot of corporates, working in the field of taxation, corporate law, IPR. There are mergers and acquisitions also. Many people are working into this. And especially to encourage females to enter such like fields which are not, much invaded by women. There are a lot of male litigators, male lawyers we have seen in fields like us, like taxation is there, arbitration is there, such like areas. But there are lesser number of females who are venturing into these fields. So to encourage more and more females to join such areas of litigation like taxation, corporate law, IPRs, mergers, wherein finance is involved. So we have constituted a trust. This is just for the information of all of you. Anybody, it's free. Anybody who wants to join that particular trust, Trisha, if you can just share that page, I would just want to display it once here. So if anybody would want to join this particular page, you can. There is a complete detail. It's with the name of Indian Women in Commercial Dispute Resolution. If you will go onto the Google and you type Indian Women in Commercial Dispute Resolution, you will find a page, and you can join. There are numbers given over there. My number is also there. So anybody who is interested in joining, you are most welcome. All right. Otherwise also, you students are most welcome anytime. If any one of you feels that you need any other clarifications related to the corporate world, I will be always available. You can WhatsApp me or take my email ID from Twisha, and you can always contact me whenever needed. I hope this has been a little insightful and a little helpful to all of you. And it was very nice interacting with you all. Please.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So, as we come to the conclusion of today's insightful session, it is my privilege to extend a heartfelt gratitude on behalf of the Rotaract Club of Noble Nexus to everyone who made this event a huge success. First and foremost, a big thank you to our esteemed speaker, Advocate C. Nanvi Gupta ma'am, for sharing your time, knowledge, and expertise with us. It was an absolute honor to have you share your expertise with us today, and I am confident that every participant has taken something valuable from the session. I would also like to thank all the participants who joined us today with such enthusiasm and curiosity. Your active participation and thought provoking questions added immense value to the session. With that, I'd like to invite our President, Rotractor Tej Pratap Singhal, to share a few words.
Right. Thank you so much, Tusha. Very warm greetings of the day, everybody. I, Tej Pratap Singhal, President on behalf of the entire team of Rotaract Club of Noble Nexus, wish to extend our heartfelt gratitude to ma'am for joining us today and sharing invaluable insights on the corporate life. I'm sure, ma'am, so many students that have joined us today are so motivated now to actually enter into the corporate world, including me myself. And they are going back with a newfound knowledge of life in the corporates. So thank you so much, ma'am, for taking time out, taking
It's
precious time
okay.
out, and
My
being here
pleasure.
today. And we are looking forward to host you very soon, ma'am.
Thank you. It was very nice. Nice interacting with the youngsters. And all the best. Keep in touch. Take care, dears. All right.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And I'd
Thank you so
also
much,
like
ma'am.
to thank all the participants for taking time out and being here today. Hope that today's session was really invaluable and added a lot of wisdom to your life. Thank you, ma'am, once again.
Okay. Okay. Good night. Good night, everyone.
Good night. Thank you, Tisha.